All right, good morning, everybody. I think we'll go ahead and get started. It is 10 o'clock, and it is our April 29th Talk About It Tuesday. I'm glad y'all have joined us for this. We're going to introduce our team, and then Sarah Wander with Datamart is going to take over and provide their quarterly VEP updates. And then we'll have some deadlines and announcements and then take your questions. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt one of us, drop it in the chat. I am watching chat today. So here's our team and how to get in touch with us. I know Anderson is online with us. I think some of the other staff is as well. You can email us, you can call us, whatever you need, just get in touch with us. Sarah, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing if you want to take over.
Sure, thank you so much. Let me share my screen. Right. Can you see my screen okay?
We can.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for having me again. I'll just briefly talk about the release that went out just about a month ago, the end of March. It was we're calling this Q 1.2 release. We had a very small 1.1 for some updates, but I will just briefly touch on the items that pertain to Alabama here. Again, we typically have 4 major releases a year, and then sometimes we'll do some intermediary releases, some hot fixes throughout the year. For MSEG Generator, I know this was one of the big requests when I met with Anderson in the winter of last year. And what we did here was for our MSEG Generator, if you've got a road center line where one side of that road center line, either the left or the right side, is a 0-0 range, but the other side of the road center line is a valid range, those will now show up in the GIS derived MSEG for our MSEG generator. So, if you've got a bifurcated highway or a dual carriageway, the valid side, the range with the valid range will show up in your derived GIS MSEG. I'm going to pause there and see if anybody has any questions. Kind of technical, and I know this was a big item, a big, main ask for this first quarter. Okay, I'll move on. So for validations, we did a lot of work to our address range overlaps, both in the single jurisdiction validations and in our cross jurisdiction validations. And what we did was previously, if you had an incorporated municipality of value of unincorporated or null, it then would take your unincorporated community value and try to match it. But now it's going to be a 1-to-1. If your incorporated municipality left or right fields are null or unincorporated, it's going to try to match those to the other roads in community values, and same with unincorporated community. So it's a 1-to-1 match. We also we were kind of smushing words together. So say you've got a in community of Northport 1 word versus Northport 2 words, it's going to maintain that space and it's going to match more accurately depending on what you've got in your field. So it's not going to take out all the values and smush them all together anymore. If you've got spaces in those fields, it's going to keep those in there and use those for that comparison of range overlaps. This is a big deal for us. We have a brand new workspace in VEP. If you haven't run it yet, check it out. It's called Domain Validations. This is 16 new validation checks that are going to check against NINA domain values. So they will not flag if you have actual null values in those fields, but they are case sensitive. So if you have way spelled out all capital or title case and the NINA domain has it all lowercase, it will flag, right? So we're validating on both address points and road center lines, and specifically the fields listed here. So the street post type, pre-dir, poster, street pre-type separator, the country, state, and parity. And I will talk about these a little bit more. So the anomalies will be flagged again if the cases are different, if there's blank or empty spaces, if there's leading or trailing spaces, if the field is not in the list. So on our knowledge base, you will find every list that's used, all of the values that we're using. We're either pulling from the NINA website itself, if it has a list there, or we are pulling from the NINA version 2 geodatabase template domain values. Again, anomaly will not be flagged if there's a valid null in those fields. So null's okay, blank or empty, leading or trailing spaces, a different value than what's acceptable in NINA, or a different case than what's acceptable in NINA will all flag validations for this, or all flag anomalies for this validation. Here's them all listed out. Again, we have all of this on our knowledge base. You can look at every single one, what it's checking for, the values it's using, but here's all 16 of them here. Any questions about the domain validations? One of our other statewide customers really wanted this, so we hope it benefits you all as well. All right, some validation bug fixes we did. We had some issues with the address range overlap. It wasn't flagging a left over right range overlap or a right over left range overlap. So we fixed that up. And then also our cross jurisdiction validations were not populating the external NGUID of those snap points. And then another bug fix, feature data sets. So a data with null geometry. So if you have a data set that has a null geometry in it, it will not allow those null geometries to be uploaded. They'll be caught in the verify step. All right. So on the horizon, we have spent, apologies for this comma that's out of place. We have spent a lot of time on what we're calling our code modernization. So this is what it's going to look like when you go into VEP after our code modernization is deployed and you go into the map. We are updating the entire web map to be based on ArcGIS Online Experience Builder. We're updating our backend code. Hopefully the performance will be faster. Things will look more modern. This is a really big undertaking for us. So you may see the releases be a little bit smaller right now as we work towards this modernization effort. And then we will have a lot of announcements going out when we're getting ready to deploy this, so nobody's caught off guard. All the widgets will function the same, but they will look a little bit different and be a more modern and hopefully more responsive and faster. All right. Any questions, comments, thoughts?
Well, Sarah, as usual, everybody's very quiet on a Tuesday morning.
Speechless.
I think that's your fastest quarterly update yet.
Yeah, like I said, most of our efforts right now are going to our code modernization. We're getting our platform modernized. We're redoing a lot of the architecture as well. So our dev team is really busy getting a more modern framework together and getting that out. And we're hoping to have all of that done by the end of this year. So our releases, the scope of them will feel a little bit smaller, look a little bit smaller, but know that in the background, we're working on improving VEP overall and making it a more modern in the code.
All right, well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so no questions. Sarah, I appreciate you joining us. You're welcome to stick around. We've just got a few announcements. But I'm going to go ahead
here.
and
Sure.
share my screen again.
Thank you all so much for having me again. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Sarah. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so we've got some deadlines coming up. If you need to file a statement of economic interest, it is due on April 30. These links here will take you to the form and then take you to a PDF that will explain who needs to file that. May 10th, our legacy 911 cost reimbursement submission is due for the month. Also, the PST certification course request for payment form is due. Those, if you get them in by the 10th of each month, they're paid out at the end of the month if we've got all our paperwork that we need from you. Here we have some new board appointments. Christy Stamnis has been appointed to represent Congressional District 1. She is currently the Director of Baldwin County 911. Sean Rogers has been appointed to represent District 3. He is the Director of Cherokee County 911. And Rich Schreiber has been appointed to represent District 7. He is Director of Tuscaloosa 911. And 2 board members leaving us, I believe, due to retirement. I know Robert Smith is retiring, but Robert Smith and Fred Johnson, who serve on our board as commercial representatives, are both leaving us in the next few months. Do you need training? We all need training. You can go to their app, and this will be a live link when I get these uploaded, and see what training is available. We have ETC classes, all kinds of stuff. I know that Tracy Eldridge is joining us for some training soon. OTM Cyber has some training in Auburn next month. The whole list will be there on the app, and of course, it's also on our website. Our next Talk About It Tuesday is May 13th. Rapid SOS will join us to highlight some new features. Representatives from InDigital have said that y'all have been asking about some of these new features, how they work, what they are, and so we've invited Rapid SOS on to explain them to you. Anybody have any questions? You don't have to ask about what we talked about today. You got any questions about anything? I really appreciate y'all joining us today. I'll have this video process and these slides up probably tomorrow. I've got to leave at lunch today. Anderson, can you answer this? Carla is asking if there's a VEP class scheduled for June.
We're working to get that scheduled. More to come on that as soon as we know something. But yes, that is the plan, is to have one in June, hopefully in the Wiregrass area.
Okay, all right, thank you. Anybody else have any questions? No questions for us? All right, well, again, if you need to get in touch with us, if you think of a question after the fact or just need anything at all, let us know how to contact us. And like I said, I'll have all this posted probably tomorrow morning. Y'all have a great Tuesday and a great week, and we will see you back on May 13th on Talk About It Tuesday.